Sometimes when the homeless tap in illegally to the city power, causes a fire. Shocking, I know. Check out this video.
And we begin with flames engulfing a homeless tent. This is a common occurrence across Los Angeles, especially in one neighborhood where residents tell NBC4 the city is doing nothing to protect them from this fire danger. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
I'm Kathy Vara. Encampment fires sometimes spread to nearby buildings, and that puts lives at risk. Investigative reporter Joel Grover has been tracking this problem for years.
Let's cut out all this,
Joel,
Tristan.
we're wondering, is the problem getting better or is it actually getting worse?
Well, the problem is getting a lot worse. And as you're about to see, the I-Team has discovered one big reason why so many tents go up in flames, putting housed and unhoused residents at risk. A homeless tent erupts into a ball of fire near the corner of Wilton Avenue and Hollywood Boulevard.
There were two huge explosions, and then there was a pop, pop, pop.
Gene Rice lives just around the corner. Fire destroyed the tent where it started and destroyed everything around it. Just one of numerous tent fires recently in this same neighborhood.
We're all in danger.
Where Levi Freeman also lives.
We have fire after fire after fire, and now they're putting us in danger.
Data obtained by the I-Team shows the number of fires related to homeless people has been going up every year, nearly double the number last year compared to 2020.
They're actually evacuating.
Those fires often damage apartments and other buildings. Like this tent fire I happened to drive by last month in front of an office building near the Grove. And people are injured and even die in encampment fires. A woman died in this tent fire on Vine Street just 3 months ago. Do you fear for your safety when you see stuff like this?
Absolutely. I mean, the fire could, set up one of these buildings ablaze, and then it could go to the next building.
The I-Team has uncovered one possible cause of some of these fires. Some homeless people are apparently diverting electricity meant to power streetlights to run power to their tents.
This is a huge problem, Joel. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Electricity was apparently diverted from this box in the sidewalk into that tent that caught on fire. That was your tent that caught on fire? Where this man says he lived. Were you using some of the power from the street?
I rather not say.
You don't want to say? Okay. A few yards away,
I mean, that's a common household power strip.
the I-Team spotted a power strip that appears to be illegally rigged into the city's electrical system, right next to the scene of another recent tent fire.
Electrical systems eventually generate heat.
Miguel Sangalong runs LA's Bureau of Street Lighting. When people tamper with the wires like this, could it cause a fire?
It can.
We can't even walk around our neighborhood safely anymore. It's so dangerous.
In Gene Rice's neighborhood, residents and businesses are desperate to prevent more fires. The week after that recent tent fire, one business bought these large planters to prevent tents from coming back to the block. In emails to the mayor, the governor, and their city councilmen, residents say the fire danger from encampments is an absolute crisis, pleading with the politicians to please help us do something about the tents. What would you like the city to do about all the tents out here?
Take them away. I am so tired of the absolute inaction of our politicians here.
And while we're on the topic of fire, let's watch a little street takeover fire. What do you say? Let's watch this. LA street takeover.
So this intersection at downtown LA looked more like a war zone earlier today. Two cars burst into flames during a wild street takeover. This was 18th and Main. Firefighters had a hard time getting to the scene, blocked by several vehicles and hundreds of spectators. When they did, they quickly called LAPD for backup. Though the flames were intense, the fire was out in just about 10 minutes. It's not clear if anyone was injured or if there were any arrests.
What we're effectively saying is everything's pretty much okay in Los Angeles. I mean, nothing to see there. No fires. No. Homeless encampments going up. No, and you know what strikes me is that the folks that they interview, guaranteed 3-4 years ago during the heat of the pandemic, they would have been they would have been all over protecting the homeless. Oh, these are our unhoused brothers and sisters, and we just really need to take care of them. We need to really watch out. And the rest of us are like, you know what? When you have these electrical cords coming into a tent encampment, and I've covered many examples of that physically myself in encampments in Seattle. Sometimes when you hook up power like that, a fire happens. And I don't know if you know this, but nylon tents, they don't do well when they are exposed to flames. They tend to. So you'll be walking along a street and you will see just charred, personal belongings. And you'll see a couple of fiberglass tent poles still up. You're like, that's so weird. The fiberglass tent poles make it because it's such a quick fire. Just boom, poof, up goes your tent, up goes all your stuff. There goes your life sometimes. But the rest of us have been saying, hey, you know what? All this stuff that happens in the homeless encampments, what did you think would happen? What did you think would happen? What did you think would happen when these folks just jack whatever they can? Because in their minds, I'm homeless. I can just go ahead and take whatever resources I want. Meanwhile, City of LA, last Monday, they took away those planters that were preventing homeless people from camping out on Sunset Boulevard. They took those away saying, oh, you didn't have a permit. Businesses that put up those planters like we saw, whether it's the wood ones that have a cactus in the middle or it's the metal planters, they took all those away saying, hey, you didn't have a permit. Can't do it. And yet the homeless folks, they don't have permits for anything that they do. And they are the ones jacking city power for free, causing millions of dollars in damage. I mean, here's the good example. 13,909 homeless fires in 2023. That is basically double what it was in 2020. Double. Yeah. So, hey, you know what? But go ahead and just let the homeless live wherever they want. 1 out of 3 homeless people in the United States lives in California. LA being one of the biggest cities. I can't remember how many thousands of people LA has, but man, these are some of the issues where that's why you can't have this. You can't have just people. You can't have urban campers. You can't have urban campers just doing whatever the F they want willy-nilly with their fire shenanigans. And that's what this is. These are shenanigans. These are things that should not be happening, but they are. So just before 10, one recent morning, an LA neighborhood was rocked by loud explosions. The residents say sounded like bombs going off. You could hear at the beginning of the video, you could hear one of those poof. You're like, oh, yeah. Is that a transformer? What do you got going on there? Is that a propane tank that is blown up? Who knows, right? And that one homeless dude, hey, were you jacking the power? I'd rather not say. I mean, what an admission of guilt, right? That guy might as well have just come right out and said, yeah, that was me. I caused it. Oh, yeah, not good, right? This isn't good. There were 2 huge explosions, and when I looked out my apartment window, I saw plumes of black smoke, said Gene Rice, who lives around the corner from a homeless encampment at Wilton Avenue and Hollywood Boulevard. Those plumes of smoke and fire were coming from a homeless tent that had exploded into a ball of fire, destroying the tent and other tents around it. In Venice Beach, you've had multiple big fires from homeless encampments that go up against buildings, wood frame buildings, boom, buildings, gone. You will see in downtown Seattle and in downtown Everett here locally, there's been big Tacoma and Everett, not Seattle, because most all the kind of derelict buildings in downtown Seattle, a lot of those have been rebuilt. You got a whole bunch of development going on. But you've got these big kind of warehouse structures that have been condemned, whatever. Maybe they're going through redevelopment. They're going to knock them down. But oftentimes the homeless will get in there, start a fire. And then you've got this crazy, however many alarm fire. And it's because homeless people in there, they're smoking a little crack, smoking some meth, lighting up cigarettes. They're doing fires. They're, doing a barbecue. They're doing, a burn bin to try and keep warm. Yeah, I mean, that's why you need to be in a shelter. You need to be in the shelter system, not out doing your own thing, because look at the resources that are being used, taxpayers' dollars being used. But again, you've got constituents that have voted in the politicians who are not doing anything about this. They are doing the polar opposite, which is, oh, the planters and the sidewalk, those have to go. We can't have that. I mean, where are the homeless going to post up if, you got, nice planters there and they can't fit a tent in there? Literally, that's what LA is doing. LA is doing the opposite of what they need to be doing to make this issue better. You don't have a permit? Yeah, neither do the thousands and thousands and thousands of homeless folks with tents on the sidewalk. Just right on the sidewalk. Crazy, right? The I-Team found that this was just one of several encampment fires recently in the neighborhood, dotted by new apartment and condo buildings. We have fire after fire after fire, and now they're putting us in danger. We're all in danger in this neighborhood. Well, yeah, I mean, that is what happens when you've got a homeless encampment. I mean, fire is just one angle of this, right? You've got human trafficking. You've got sex trafficking. You've got stolen goods being both purchased and sold. You've got drugs upon drugs upon drugs. I mean, all of those major factors like that on top of fires. That's why people don't want homeless encampments in their community. There are people that are trying to get their lives back together, but those are small, tiny percentage of the folks who are living basically urban camping style. Was this your fire? Is this your responsibility? Oh, I'd rather not say. Because you just burned up a bunch of people's tents, including your own. They're a genius guy. I mean, I've seen just basic extension cords going into a city power pole in Seattle. It's pretty normal. I mean, some guys got some just, I think I'll just, cut the cord and I'll splay the wires, pull the sheathing back. I'll just, wire this up. It should be fine. I mean, permit not needed, right? And you look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, they are literally jacking fire from the city. And, I wonder what could go wrong here. Now LA is finding out consistently, hey, you have fires because those electrical cords together that aren't, set up correctly. They're not engineered. They're not insulated. You don't have all the, it's just, it's urban camping at its best with the shenanigans that result, which is fire, people burning stuff up. Absolutely wild. This is a huge problem, said Jeannie Rice. Yeah, it is, but it always has been. It always has been. Fire and homeless encampments has been a huge, huge issue. But so many people, when this homelessness, they're just poor homeless people. Let them live wherever they want. And they voted in progressive folks who said, hey, urban campers need a place to live and sleep. So why not the sidewalk? Well, now you're finding why not? Because these aren't people looking to get their lives back in order. These are people looking to, they're living a lifestyle. They're living the homeless shenanigans lifestyle. And this is a byproduct of that. And so until you make that vote count and get some officials in there who are a little bit tougher on the whole homelessness thing, then you're stuck with it. This is what you're going to get. And this comes from the top down. I mean, this is, this is Gruesome Newsom, top down policy. Love our homeless folks. And you'll literally watch videos of people who say, we love our homeless folks. And you're like, okay, yeah, but what about the fire burning up maybe your place? How much love would you have at that point to share with your fellow human being who is choosing to live on the sidewalk? Yeah, I love the one guy. Take them away, said Levi Freeman. Guaranteed. That dude a few years ago was like, oh, where's your sense of compassion? Where's your compassion for the homeless? Because now they realize, oh, good Lord, this is not good. These people, they bring how about Shigella? How about we throw out a little Shigella action in there? If you haven't been following this channel, love to have you subscribe. But Google Shigella. That is a thing in homeless encampments. Yeah. It is basically a medieval virus. It's bacteria that, it's gross. Don't Google that while you're going to be eating something. That's not dinner time. That's not lunchtime. It's not any time food compatible. But that's just one more of these things where people living in a homeless encampment or having, sex and Sometimes it's, you get Shigella. Yeah, because you're not washing your hands and you've got oral fecal matter. Yeah. One of those things, that on top of the fires, shenanigans. That's what you've got. In a statement, NBC4, a spokesperson for City Councilman Soto Martinez said, this encampment is one of our top priorities. We're really going to look into it. In a district with just 400 interim housing beds for over 3,000 people living on the streets, we have to continue working to find creative short and long-term solutions for residents impacted by the homelessness crisis. Well, you've allowed this to happen. There are other cities where they have not allowed this to happen. Hey, we want to help you get some help. You can't sleep here in your tent. You can't just sleep wherever. So let us take you to the shelter. Oh, I can't just sleep wherever? Okay. Well, maybe I'll just move on. And eventually they do move on. That's what Bellevue's policy is here. Get people the help they need, get them to a shelter, because you can't just live urban camping style willy-nilly wherever and hope that things are okay, because they won't be. This is the kind of stuff that happens. People burn up, property burns up, adjacent homes burn up. So, it's real estate 101. You drive down a street and you got a whole bunch of tents. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to be making an offer on this property. Right? Because do you want that house to burn down? Because those tent shenanigans, right? All right, that's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. Love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.